Conference titles. To date, the Reavers have captured 6 straight Region 11 titles in 8 seasons of football. With only 2 opponents to beat, each conference game meaningful in pursuit of the trophy. This week, a chance to capture that trophy in pursuit of bigger goals. Ellsworth, they've got upset on their minds as the number 1 Reavers head to Cadet Field with 1-0 on their mind. Highlights and more coming at you next on the Iowa Western Football Coaches Show. It's the Coach Stroh Show on the Reaver Sports Network and CBTV 17. From the studios of CBTV 17 in Council Bluffs, Iowa, this is the Iowa Western Football Coaches Show. I'm Jake Ryan, joined by the head coach of the Iowa Western Reavers, Scott Strohmeyer. Coach, heading into a game where you know that there's a trophy at stake, taking on the Ellsworth Panthers at Ellsworth. Always a dangerous game. You've been 4-0 there all time. 2 blowouts and 2 games where they were a little bit closer. Now, the first one was the way you capture inaugural season, which was a very exciting win. And the next time was the last time that you went, a goal line stand, preserving a 21-14 win late in the game. I know that Coach Montalto always has a dangerous team. What did you see on film before coming into this game? Well,
we knew that. I mean, they were in spurts. I mean, they were in just about every game. I think one game they maybe got blown out, but they were close, losing in overtime. Or, they had Independence on the ropes and ended up losing that one in overtime. But, they have a lot of there's some talent there that for whatever reason they just couldn't finish them off down the stretch. So,
all right, let's take a look at the highlights for Iowa Western and Ellsworth from Cadet Field in Iowa Falls, Iowa. It's a cold, damp day. There's the Reaver captains coming out for the opening coin toss. You get the opening kick again, Coach, and then it's going to work. T-Boy White.
Yeah, we took the opening right away, and with Mackay out and T-Boy, a nice catch there by Vincent Perry and kind of getting in the groove here this first drive.
Yeah, Vincent Perry, great one-handed catch there, strings it up, and then it's Loxley to work. He'll go forward, gets the first down. And then how about this? A nice job picking up the snap, but then he tries to make something out of nothing. Good thing Anthony McKinney was there to pounce on it.
Yeah, you don't have those negative plays, but we came out of it, but we're able to bounce back in long yardage.
Second down and forever, as we said in the booth. Vincent Perry picks you up a first down inside the 10, and then Kai racing to the outside. Easy touchdown for the Reavers. They go up 7-0 on the first drive of the game.
Good start. I thought we executed there and kind of went at them, and hopefully we can keep moving the thing as the game goes.
Now the Reavers welcome Ellsworth to Kendrick Roberson, their quarterback, and then the punting game turns into a little bit of a sloshy mess as Lockett tries to slide down and make the fair catch. Ellsworth pounces on the fumble.
Yeah, and that's what you can't do in games like this, is give them more opportunities, but our defense responds here.
Reavers get it back after Ellsworth is forced on the 3 and out, and then another great catch by Vincent Perry. Actually spun and got it on the out of bounds, and then he picked it up and dropped it. The fans wanted to drop right away, but as I said, it's not the NFL. T-Boy White going to work on the next play.
Yeah, it was a big play. Again, coming back after we stopped him on the punt, we fumbled the punt, and come in 2 drives or 2 possessions and 2 scores.
T-Boy White punching it in, and as you see Cadet Field, there's not much around it. Going back to work, Ellsworth, and the defense is there again. Great tackle by the Reavers. That's Jamari McDonald with that tackle, and then to Kendrick Roberson. He finds some running room and had to avoid the official there. Gets inside the goal, or the 10-yard line, and Ellsworth's knocking at the door.
Yeah, they are, and again, that one we probably should have had. We had 2 guys try to scoop and score, but a huge stand there.
Now, I thought it was a fumble and you guys recovered. They determined that was just a turnover on downs.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the explanation was to you, Coach, but it seemed like it should have been Reaver ball at the 20.
It should have been. I mean, that's what we recovered it in the end zone. That's what I thought too, but the officials are smarter than us.
Ellsworth taking some shots downfield, and coming up big are the Reaver defensive backs. T-Boy White coming up big on a big gainer there, and then Loxley to the corner, and good to see number 8 back in a Reaver uniform.
Yeah, it was good, and their corner there is pretty good, and Anthony made a big catch for a first down.
Eddie Ogamba attaches a field goal. It's 17-0 Reavers. And then, again, back to work goes Ellsworth, trying to make something. Reavers doing a very good job. The dark side played very well in the first half.
Yeah, really well, and we were offensively was kind of getting into a sync and felt things were moving pretty well.
Loxley trying for the deep ball, and unfortunately, Shadrack Martin is there to make the interception.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. He threw it when he thought the receiver was going to go outside, and he ended up going inside. So, but, we turn it over, and we'll get the ball back.
Ellsworth turns it over, and then you get the ball back. Loxley down the sideline. I thought he was in for the touchdown. They call him out of bounds. What do you see from your sideline?
It was close. I didn't really see if he stepped out, but, again, they're smarter than us, so they know if he stepped out.
Fake field goal. Walding will go to work, and, He throws it incomplete on that play. Incomplete, turns the ball over, and then guess what? Bam Mangrum picks the ball off and down the sideline. Not quite enough to get there. Reavers going back to work inside the red zone.
Well, it's good. We got the turnover, and now we answer on the turnover to go up 24 or 23-0 before the extra point.
Vincent Perry, great move to the outside, hits the cone as he goes in. 24-0 as you're getting closer to half. It was Ellsworth scrambling all the time, and then does he play center field? What's up with that? Bam Mangrum, his second interception, and then you're hoping for more points, and then another mistake by Loxley here. Actually, a great catch by Joe Jordan there. It's coming up, the next mistake that we'll see. So you're inside Highland territory, and then the mishandled snap is what led to the turnover. Ellsworth trying to get something before the half, makes the catch. Nope, it's incomplete, and the half comes to a close. They did put 1 second left, and like you said, the officials apparently know more than the coaches do.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was 0 up top. I didn't know how they could see. I just asked them how they could see. He stepped out and looked at the clock and see there's 1 second left.
They went to the film, clearly. 24-0 your score at the break. 30 minutes of football left to capture the conference crown. First half thoughts, more highlights as the Coach Stroh Show continues next on CBTV 17.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
From the studios of CBTV 17 at Canesville Center on the campus of Iowa Western Community College, this is the Coach Stroh Show. 24-zip, Coach, at the half despite a couple of misfires. What did you feel went right? What did you feel that you needed to work on?
I mean, I thought we played pretty well. There's maybe a couple drives where we had some mental breaks that, you can't have. And defensively, we played well. Obviously, a shutout. We had a goal line stand. And, I think the biggest thing is, so you get there early before the game, you were dressed on the sidelines. Halftime, we got to stand in, tall grass. And, you get out of your sync. And, I was hoping that we could come out in the second half with some intensity.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful facility, though. I mean, it was a nice day to stand out in the tall grass. Let's take a look at those second half highlights on a gray, misty day in Iowa Falls, Iowa. Dallas Hinkhouse getting them pumped up, former Reaver, getting them set. And then it's Jake Schumann that comes out in place of Paris Chambers in the second half. Schumann leading, he was slippery, Coach, kept getting out of trouble.
I'll tell you what, give that kid a lot of credit. And he played earlier in the season, and I thought he did a really nice job, and he doesn't make as many mistakes as the guy before.
Yeah, Chambers throwing a couple interceptions late in that first half, and then Roberson, fourth down and run, and then it's a fumble. Ellsworth recovers for a first down. I mean, talk about better be lucky than good sometimes.
Yeah, Coach. That one I thought we had. That we two guys miss it, but get another good stand. They took it for 8-some minutes and only got a field goal.
Knuckleball field goal is good, and then an onside kick that goes 7 yards, procedure penalty, and the Reavers take over deep in their own territory. Unfortunately, you go 1, and here's 2, and a nice toss, but it's almost intercepted. And then here's the fourth down where it's intended for Perry across the middle. He gets popped, can't hang on, and Ellsworth has the ball back.
Yeah, they take a long drive, and then they go out on downs. We couldn't take advantage of them trying an onside kick.
It's Raekwon Chapman that checks him down, and then a nice pass to Ben Rooney. Rooney, a sophomore, and I remember calling his name a lot last year, and then the goal line plunge for Ellsworth, and they cut it down to 10. Then a little squib kick taken by Vincent Perry. Nice run as he just gathers himself and then fires out of a cannon right behind T-Boy White. Ramonte Hill with the nice block as well. And look at Vincent Perry. Third straight week, Coach, you get a kickoff return for a touchdown. That's a nice little momentum killer for Ellsworth.
Well, it's huge. They've controlled the first half. It was 24-10. Now back 30-10.
Schumann cocking and firing, settles down, avoids a man, and then again it's Rooney, who doesn't hurdle quite as well as the Reavers do.
No, I seen him jump. I was hoping that he wasn't able to hurdle us.
Schumann directing traffic, big run there for the quarterback as he's brought down, but not until a big gain for Ellsworth. And then again to Kendrick Roberson with the handoff. And you guys did a good job of stringing him out. Nice leg tackle there by Desmond Lockett, undercutting him.
Yeah, our defense has been on the field a lot here, and unfortunately that's a good play. I mean, a good throw, good catch.
Great catch, and it's 24-17 at this point, and then a mishandle on the special teams. Now, you knew that they might do it. It didn't seem like everybody was up in that hands unit. So explain a little bit what was the thinking there?
Well,
Coach Montalto wasn't going for
sometimes it's tough. I figured they would do it, but you put your hands team in, and then they kick it deep, and now you're in bad field position there. So we practice hands team, or just out of normal kickoff return, and we mishandled that one.
Schumann again to work to the sideline. Another great catch, this time by Greenhaw. And he did a really good job directing traffic. Kid out of Rhinebeck, Iowa, I believe is where he's from.
Yeah, he's a good player. He played with Colton Dinsdale in high school.
So Don Brown with the catch. Roberson again picking his way forward. I was thinking that we'd see more loose balls as far as fumbles go on the day, more than we did. That kick makes it 30-20, and then they'll try it again. Nice job by DeMarco Durr covering that kick.
Yeah, it was big. They came right back at him, and you need to stop the momentum. They have it all right now, and we miss a block and get a tackle for loss, and then get a sack.
Yeah, Kai, 0 time to pass on the day. And then Hunter Penninger, well, it's worked 4 times, not the 5th, though. He ran it right into coverage and then tried to kick it, fumbles it out of bounds. Ellsworth taking over again. They've got all the momentum on their side, still trailing by 10 points at this time.
Again, big, that mistake, and then a 3rd and 20 or something like that, and they convert. So again, at some point, someone needs to step up and make a play, and here we end up making it.
Yeah.
I think that was 4th down there, but then we get a block in the back here.
Yeah, you see Lockett returns it all the way for the touchdown and was gassed at the end of it. So on that play, I know that in the spirit of the game, you want to catch it and you want to return it. Almost better to bat that one down, isn't it, Coach?
For sure. I mean, then you got the football, and we're in good field position. Instead, we're backed up and trying to get something going.
Initially called a pass interference, then they pick it up on the penalty. I couldn't understand that one at all on the broadcast, and then a shot out and try the quick screen, overthrown. Schumann running for his life. Nice job there by Dominic Quiwan teeing him up for Davion Nixon.
Yeah, and again, we're getting some stops. It's not a lot offensively. We're not getting a first down and making our defense go back out there.
Yeah, the offense non-existent in the second half for the Reavers, but the defense continues to play well. A lot of chippiness out there. Did you talk to your guys before the second half and even during the breaks about don't retaliate?
Yeah, I've stressed and stressed and stressed. But sometimes, like I said, when you know each other and they got the momentum, and we're where we're at, and they're 3 and whatever. So it happens a little bit.
Well, you pick up your 9th victory of the season, 30-20. It was not easy. The first half was easy. The second half was a bit of you had to hold your breath, but you come out with the win again, and you get those wins on a field that is muddy. It's been ripped up. The entire community plays on it, not just the high school and not just you or the Panthers, but also the youth teams and the JV teams. So the field has seen better days. On November 4th, a grass field. They talked about to us before the game. They're hoping to get turf up there at Cadet Field, but it hasn't happened yet. So your footing's bad. Everything that you guys do well, which is a speed-oriented ball game, getting it quick, getting quick cuts, was pretty much negated by the playing surface. And then I will say it because I know that you will get in trouble for it. The officials were terrible on the day. They were just not good. There were how many times did Chester Graves get held on? I mean, it was unbelievable what we saw. The pass interference penalties that they didn't call or waved off. I mean, I just can't understand at that level of football how you're getting that kind of crew.
Yeah, it's challenging, and I think that the biggest challenge is the kids feel it as well. So now the momentum's to their side. We're not playing maybe as well as we like, and then now the officials or whatever it may be. I just think a lot of adversity that these kids are dealing with, and they're 18, 19 years old, and some of us got to handle it better. Some of them did a good job, but and then you're sitting there, and I think people are gunning for us, and gosh, you'd like it to be just a clean game and and everything go right and officiated correctly and all that. But that we've seen some of those days again and again. Like I said, I don't know if people don't like us or want us to lose, but that's just part of it.
Yeah, and it's been both ways as the season's gone on.
Yeah.
We've seen some calls that have gone our way, but for a second to be added back on the clock after it was clearly expired, I mean, one thing after another. A win is a win, though.
Yep, we'll
you
take
get
it.
win number 9. This week, you try for your 10th win of the season against a scrappy DuPage team. We'll talk about the Chaparrals when we come up. When we come back, we will talk the kicking game. Eddie Ogamba, a pair of field goals. And, Fast Eddie will join us next right here on the Coach Stroh Show on CBTV 17.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
The Coach Stroh Show continues here on CBTV 17. I'm iDub TV student Riley Martin, along with the kicker, Eddie Ogamba. Welcome to the show, Eddie.
Thanks for having me.
So, you come into the season, freshman kicker, it's your first experience in college ball, and we go and put 71 points on Last Chance U, and you went a perfect 10 for 10. What was your mind like after that game, it being your first college experience?
I mean, it was quite nerve-wracking. Coming in as a freshman, you always have huge standards for yourself. At least for me, I have huge standards for myself, and I have goals to achieve. But mainly, I was just trying to focus on helping the team out at that point and being able to stay consistent as a kicker, because that's what most coaches look for. And coming in, my mindset was just work hard and stay consistent.
You talk about coming in as a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
You played soccer, and you were very, very talented. You actually led the state of Minnesota in goals.
Yeah.
So what was that decision like to switch to football and come and play here at Iowa Western?
I mean, the decision of coming here was quite tough. It was a hard decision to make, but at the time, I had to make a decision either to further my education and come down here and play football or drop soccer, and I decided to drop soccer at that point because throughout the course of my 2 years of playing football, I grew more passion for the game and loving the game and loving kicking the ball. It was just a thing that was part of me.
What do you have to say to people who think kicking up football is easy?
It's really not easy. It's really not easy. There's a lot of pressure and a lot of things that comes with it, especially with the mental part of the game, because you have 300-pound dudes running at you in a split second trying to rip your head off before you kick that ball. The weather condition sometimes plays a factor in that, but you just got to stay calm, cool, and collect and do your job.
Earlier you were talking about some of your goals.
Yeah.
What have your goals been throughout the season, and it being now with only one game left, where do you think you've come from where you wanted to be at the beginning?
I mean, there's always things to work on as a kicker. There's always goals you have to achieve. My main goals right now is just do my job as a kicker, make every field goals, and stay consistent, and remain mentally strong throughout the course of the season.
All right, and what does it mean to be part of such a special and talented group of specialists here at Iowa Western, including Hunter Penninger and guys who don't necessarily get to play like Mason Wilbur and those guys, but how do you guys keep each other competitive in practice and make sure you're sharp for game day?
I mean, I love those guys because they keep each other pushing, and they keep everybody pushing. And our goal as a specialist is to just keep everybody in line and keep everybody working hard. We might look like we're not doing stuff at practice, but we go out there an hour early, we get our work done, and we just keep each other and just keep each other focused doing practice.
Every kicker has a ritual before they go out there or something before the game.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine, I usually kneel down before I touch the field. I kneel down and say a prayer to God, protect everyone, and bring us out with the victory. And before every kid got signed across, and that's like my regular retro.
All right, well, we'll be looking for it on Saturday. Thanks for joining us today on the Coach Stroh Show, Eddie.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's kicker Eddie Ogamba. I'm Riley Martin. When we return, Jake and the coach will be back to wrap up this week's show. You're watching it on CBTV 17 and the Reaver Sports Network.
At the Council Bluffs Recycling Center, we're proud of the effort our community makes to help keep Council Bluffs beautiful by participating in our curbside recycling program. Here are some tips to make sure your recyclables are accepted. If you're confused about plastics, we can help. Numbers 1 through 5 plastic food and beverage containers are acceptable. Usually the recycling triangle and the number inside are located on the bottom of containers. Items we don't take include numbers 6 and 7 plastics, styrofoam, or bags of any sort, although we encourage recycling plastic bags inside local grocery stores. Please be sure to check the calendar in our annual mailer or on our website to find out what items will be picked up each week. Blue Week items for your curbside bin include paper, cardboard, and glass containers. Green Week items for your curbside bin include plastic food and beverage containers, tin and aluminum containers, and tin foil. Thank you for helping us keep Council Bluffs beautiful.
Back on the set of the Coach Stroh Show at CBTV 17 in Council Bluffs, Iowa. I'm Jake Ryan, as always, joined by the head coach of the Iowa Western Reavers, head coach Scott Strohmeyer. Well, final week of the 2017 regular season. It has been a wild one so far, Coach. Another year with that Jayhawk scheduling agreement. You guys go through it 7-1. The only stumble to Butler at their place on a day where, well, you guys didn't do yourself any favors. Had more penalty yards than rushing yards. You look at the turnovers that occurred in that game. One game, if you could take that one game back, I mean, there's several others. That game against Hutch, a very good team that you outlasted here at home. You look at all the games as you cruised through the season. One more to go. What do you think of this 2017 season with one game to play?
Well, I mean, so far, like I said, I'm really happy with our kids, the way we bounced back from that Butler game, or we had a tough one at Hutch that we pulled out, and the Butler. And I'll say the biggest thing is of our guys, like we were down probably 8 guys in the 2 deep last week, and so some of our guys who aren't playing a lot are playing, and we're trying to build depth. So a lot of that people don't know about. They look at scores and say, oh, it's 30-20, but we had 1 tailback for the game, and we're down 2 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends, in a game on bad conditions against a team that's looking to knock you off. So 2 corners out, in this game. So, I'm proud of our guys. After we lost, we have to win out, and put ourselves in a position, and to sit here at 9-1 and all the things that we went through, I'm pretty pleased so far. Now we just got to finish one more.
Is there, you talk about 30-20 and people seeing it on paper. What would be your solution to alleviating the fact that people have their, I don't know, whether they've got their geographical, where they have a preference one way or the other? How do you get, and it goes from the officiating up to now, how do you take that out of where the teams are stacked in the polls? Because you look at the Mississippi League, great league, they only play each other. The Jayhawk Conference, they play the Jayhawk Conference and us. You look at the out west, the Arizona League. You look at teams like Georgia Military, who are very talented, that have to go all over the country to play. I mean, looking at their record, I think they have 1 loss, 2 losses.
8-1.
They are still a quality team, but they've got to go all over the place. I mean, they travel the entire season. Yeah. I mean, there's got to be some sort of, I don't know, fix for it, isn't there?
Well, one, that's what they're hoping the computers would do. I don't think that's necessarily the fix, but at the end of the day, I think you need voters that vote truly based on who they think the best team in the country is, or the top 20 teams. And where I think what happens is the voters obviously want their region to do well, and so you're biased towards that, which I think happens everywhere. But at the end of the day, I think they have to have vested interest in this, and not just someone who looks at scores and if it's the national office gives some type of information to each region voter, or allows the top 10 teams or top 20 teams in the country every week can give a synopsis of the game, and nobody knows what you're going through injury wise. You're on the road, bad field conditions, down 9 guys in a 2 deep. you know, and I'm not just saying that for us, because there's some other ones that,
Sure.
you know, Northwest Mississippi only, you know, they lost once, but they beat the number one team by 40 points, and they're below them. You know what I mean? So I just think right now there's too many people lobbying to try to put their team or their region team higher, and so what that does is that takes the teams higher and they put them lower so you don't get points.
It's not even about where you're voting your team. It's about where they put, for example, Iowa Western.
Yep.
Well, if we put Iowa Western at 5th, as the way we vote it, then that'll help us out. I mean, it's just...
And everybody thinks our strength of schedule. Well, you know, you look at our only non-conference game is against College of DuPage, which is 6-2, and they played Georgia Military. They play Lackawanna.
And they beat Lackawanna.
For sure, 24-0. And then you look at some of the... you know, the Mississippi's, they play each other. Okay, we get that. Some of them, you know, you don't play everybody, so you may get the better teams, you may get the worst teams. You know, Arizona, they have 9 games, you know, and they played somebody twice.
Well, in Lewisburg out east is talking about why are they so well. Their season's done. They've played 7 games.
Yeah, and against maybe one junior
college.
college.
7 games.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, I don't know. It's tough at this level because it is hard. Georgia Military has every right. I mean, you want to look at their schedule. When they went to Miami last week and played. They went to West Virginia and played someone the week before. They went to New York. I mean, that's tough on an 18, 19-year-old kid. I mean, even to be 8-1. You know,
It's
and they're
tough
only
on a 40, 50-year-old coach too.
For sure it is. I've done those, but their only loss was the first game against the year against Navarro.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. There's really no way. We've benefited from some of it before. I think. You know, we may be on, you know, we're on the other end of it right now, but.
Well, being part of the Jayhawk Alliance with the ICCAC is definitely a huge strength because those teams.
For sure.
Now, there's some teams there that bottom feed, just like in the Iowa Conference, but I mean, a rising tide raises all ships, and that's exactly what you're looking for when you're scheduling.
For sure. You know, I mean, number 5 ranked team in the country, Independence, we beat 70-21 at their place. You know,
and it wasn't close ever.
No, and that was game 1. So are they really looking at? You know, I don't know how much they're really looking at it the way it's going, but I just wish, like I said, my goal would be is that you'd have people vote that truly believe. Are we the number 1 team in the country? I don't know. I mean, but you know, I think. I could pick a top 5 that are pretty good. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, I guess the only solution is we need somebody to back the JUCO playoffs like they do the JUCO World Series, and then we'll have an 8-game playoff. There you go, right there.
We got it done. We got it settled.
Just like that. Call the national office. We'll book that right now. Last regular season game this weekend. It's a high noon start as the 9-1 Reavers take on the 6-2 College of DuPage Chaparrals. Should be a very entertaining game from Chicagoland. We'll have the pregame beginning at 11 a.m., so set your alarm. Reaver Hoops are in action at home this weekend. A big congratulations going out to women's coach Lindsay Vandehoef on her 100th career victory, and also to Reaver Volleyball and women's soccer on clinching berths to the NJCAA national tournaments. Also wrestling season, so much going on, so don't forget about heading to campus and catching the Reavers in action. Make sure you keep up with the teams on our great social media by following @GoReavers. You can also see all the schedules online at GoReavers.com. We'll talk with you Saturday from the Windy City. Thanks for watching, and Go Reavers.